welcome to Sundry Sports for Wednesday, July 15th? Wednesday, July 15th. I am not well prepared ever. Wednesday, July 15th. Brought to you by USA Today. Report. Cowboys not expecting Randy Gregory reinstatement, maybe? And I did read this whole thing yesterday. The Cowboys' expectations a few short months ago were that suspended defensive lineman Randy Gregory and Aldon Smith would both be reinstated. But while Aldon Smith was reinstated quite a while ago, Randy Gregory is for some reason still in limbo. But the Cowboys are still hoping that he will be involved in some way. Pro Football Focus ranks Cowboys wide receiver group tops in NFL. In 2018, the Dallas Cowboys front office went into an NFL season with a receiving core that was totally undermanned. Following the release of Dez Bryant. Yes, the release of Dez Bryant. But now, apparently, we are tops. Madden 21 ratings. Dak Prescott slotted behind MVP quarterbacks. Well, I should hope so. The annual release of Madden ratings is synonymous with the approach of training camp and a new NFL season. Fans and players alike flock to blah blah blah. I really don't give a crap. News. Lack of Dak deal will hurt Cowboys financially. The deadline for the Dallas Cowboys to extend quarterback Dak Prescott is rapidly approaching, and the latest reports on the situation aren't looking good. And that deadline would be today. Coach Carter, Cowboys, Tom Sula gets JMU stud to mold into star. 2021 mock draft ships Cowboys tight end with Rob Gronkowski comps. I don't know what comps means there. The last OG, Zach Martin, yes. ESPN, Cowboys offensive weapons ranked tops in NFC. Report. No scheduled talks between Prescott's agent and Cowboys. Yeah? I'll say this again, as I said yesterday and the day before, and probably before that. I don't believe that the Cowboys should be, stressing about a long-term contract with Dak. I think that Dak should be the one stressing. I think that he should take this year on the franchise tag to prove himself. Because I don't believe that he has proven himself so much. Yeah, above average stats, okay, but no results. Average records. Or below average records in some seasons. Very few playoff appearances, let alone wins, and needless to say, no Super Bowl. I think that he needs to be proving himself worthy of the long-term contract that everybody seems so certain that he just deserves. So there. Video, 4 biggest concerns for Mike McCarthy coaching the Cowboys in 2020. Well, one of the bigger concerns would be that he hasn't really, I don't think that he has really been able to build up much of a rapport with his players because of this global panic happening and our severe overreaction to it. So there's that. And that's it for Cowboys Wire. And that was a big yawn. I'm sorry, sports. Sports makes me yawn right now. The ESPN Daily. Good morning. Hear me out. A Love Island-style reality show, except with NBA players in the bubble. Instead of a cash prize, the last couple teammate pairing standing gets to hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy. I think it has legs. Here's your ESPN Daily. Things to care about. NBA X Factors. I know it might seem like I'm obsessed with the NBA bubble, but that's only because I'm slightly obsessed with the NBA bubble. However, as much as I'm enjoying the nonstop barrage of shenanigans gracing my social media timeline by way of Orlando, Florida, I still desperately miss actual basketball and can't wait for its return. While the Milwaukee Bucks, Los Angeles Lakers, and LA Clippers remain the favorites to win it all, the title is anyone's to take. Well, any of the 22 NBA teams currently in the bubble, but you know what I'm saying. Yesterday we talked about the potential surprise players who could become household names in the postseason. Today, we're focusing on X factors around the league, the stars who will make or break their team's chances, and the big questions surrounding each player. Can Pascal Siakam lead a championship offense? Can Bam Adebayo slow down Giannis Antetokounmpo? Is Paul George ready for the spotlight? Kurt Goldsberry takes a look at what the numbers have to say. Oh, while we're on the subject, I'd be remiss not to offer up a look at the 10 most interesting free agents to watch in Orlando. Is it July 30th yet? MLB All-Star rosters. Oh, baseball. Not baseball. Baseball. MLB All-Star rosters for the game that wasn't. Today I should be regaling you with tales of what went down in the 91st MLB All-Star Game, but alas, for the first time since 1945, there was no game. You know what is not the first since 1945? A global pandemic. Oh, no, shocking. Shock of shocks. This is, like the third or the fourth or the fifth global pandemic we've had since 1945, and yet it's the first one to cancel the MLB All-Star Game. And the first one to cancel many, many other things, too. Not even Woodstock was canceled due to a global pandemic. And yet here we are. Nope, instead of getting to turn my attention to Dodger Stadium last night, it was just another round of reruns of The Sopranos. No offense to Tony, but I really thought the National League was going to get it done this year. When World War II caused the... Oh, right! Wars, also. Fucking World War. Wars. When World War II caused the cancellation of the 1945 game, the league selected rosters anyway. So in that tradition, what we're in is about equal to a fucking world war? No, I don't think so. The chances of dying from this are so much less than from a war. The league selected rosters anyway, so in that tradition, David Schoenfield selected imaginary 2020 All-Star rosters. The difference? Regular season baseball was played in 1945. But as you know, there has been no baseball in 2020, so he predicted All-Star rosters based on what he thinks will happen over the abbreviated season. 32 players for each league, including 20-something, whatever that number is that's cut off by my email provider, position players, and 12 pitchers. What's 32 minus 12? 20. So 20 position players and 12 pitchers? Since the National League is using the designated hitter this season, he selected 2 designated hitters for the NL National League, as required in the AL American League. He also predicted whom the fans would elect as the starters, as they do in real life, then filled out the rest of the rosters. Let the record reflect, Juan Soto would be a starter in any NL roster I constructed. Thank you, carry on. Okay. Listen up. The birth of MLB's Black Player Movement. In the fall of 2017, Oakland A's catcher Bruce Maxwell was the only MLB player to kneel in protest of racial injustice in support of Colin Kaepernick. Ugh. Maxwell was not supported by his teammates or by MLB at large. Good. A high-profile encounter with police further complicated Maxwell's career, and he wound up leaving MLB. Now the killing of George Floyd has led black players to organize in a whole new way, while Maxwell remains apart. On today's episode of the ESPN Daily Podcast, Howard Bryant joins to share Maxwell's story, the history of black player voices in baseball, and today's Players Alliance. People don't watch baseball to hear your voices. People don't watch sports to hear your voices. They watch to see you do what you're good at. Things to watch. JaVale McGee and Cuz do Disney. Just two guys and they're having a good time. The Los Angeles Lakers' JaVale McGee and Kyle Kuzma decided to take their talents to the water slide during some downtime in the NBA bubble. Cuz led the charge, but after quipping to his Instagram audience that he's a fun guy, a reluctant McGee followed his teammate to the top. Then, McGee proceeded to document his journey down the slide on Instagram. I have some questions. Namely, how did he manage to keep his phone dry? Seems risky, but what do I know? Well, they do make waterproof phones these days. And waterproof cases, also. Overheard. You know who you're coming after? I'm like, yeah, great. What he was, what he is great. Needs no even talking about it. But Coach McDaniels, you're able to call some stuff that you ain't ever been able to call. Now you're getting a dog. Cam Newton on replacing Tom Brady in New England. Why do they share these absolute word salads as quotes that you should know? What? Remember when? On this date in 2018, France won its second World Cup with a 4-2 win over Croatia. Kylian Mbappe, Paul Pogba, and Antoine Griezmann led Les Bleus to the coveted title, then partook in a celebration fit for world champs. Until next time, remember, the humidity does something to you, to your soul. Candace Parker talking about life in the WNBA Orlando, Florida bubble, / me when my roommate dares to turn off the air conditioning in our LA apartment. Why the fuck would you do that? This has been your ESPN Daily for Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. Okay, that's the end of that. Goodbye.